like, why would the government do that? But I mean, some days it kind of seems really like overbearing that it could be like that. And this was a quote from a video that I watched. The idea that 19 hijackers are going to completely bypass security and crash 4 commercial airliners in a span of 2 hours with no interruption from military forces in the most guarded airspace in the United States and the world, that to me is a conspiracy theory. And there's more excited. And any questions?
Sorry, I
was like, I know I've hit 5 minutes. Please tell me I've hit 5 minutes.
No, I was just so enthralled that I just completely, I'm sorry.
That's fine.
And you have questions.
So, did the tower, was the tower destroyed by the government or by the previous owner who got $7 million?
What they said is that the government had done it, and I can't remember what the guy's name that bought the new lease, but he probably bought it for quite a substantial amount of money, and then what it was is that he had close ties with government officials too, and what had happened is since he owned it, he could let people plant the bombs and stuff in there, because there was a lot of, I read a lot of interviews with people that worked there that got out that said months before they would have random emergency evacuations for hours upon hours where parts of the towers would be evacuated. And so with their new lease owner, that was stuff that I read that he, was in with the government ties, so he had allowed them to go up and put explosives in the towers.
And did he really kill, they think that they just killed all those people for money?
Mm-hmm.
Is he being investigated right now?
No.
Is that a Pentagon thing on YouTube?
Probably, yeah. You can pretty much go into Google and type 9/11, and the first things you're going to get are conspiracy pages, and there's millions of videos and stuff like that.
So do you believe that it was a conspiracy?
Some days I kind of read stuff, some stuff that I read said that planes didn't even hit the towers, and that people had gone in and computerly enhanced planes flying in the towers. Stuff that I read like that that's kind of dumb. But I mean, some of the stuff that I read, it really does. I mean, there's a lot more than this. I had to way get it down. But I mean, a lot of the stuff, you read it and it's just so most days I do believe that the government did it, yeah.
Oh, I got another question. Okay. For the Pentagon thing, the conspiracy thing you said about the missiles, did they say whatever happened to that plane then if the plane didn't hit it? In any of the stuff you were reading?
No, I don't really think they have. No, they really just say that a missile, because they saw a plane flying around. A lot of people, witnesses, say they saw a plane flying around, and so they just kind of say that a missile hit it, but I haven't heard anything about what would happen. I don't know.
So, for the airplane that was, I think it was 93, the one that didn't hit the Pentagon, the one that just, was in the field or whatever. So, that was the one that had the phone calls, right?
Yeah.
So, do the family members, that heard the phone calls, what were they pre-recorded,
Well, I was reading one thing, and this guy was writing a report on it, and he had said that he was writing, and then in the middle of he's like, well, and then because his son, he was expecting his son, and so this guy had been knocking on his door, so he's like, hey, I'm here, are you here, and everything, and he thought it was his son, and he went to go see this person, and it was actually his neighbor or something, and he's like, it's so easy, I mean, if you're getting a phone call, you're not really thinking about the voice or something like that, that if it's somebody saying, I'm your son and we're on a plane and we're being hijacked, as long as the voice is close, I mean, you're not going to really listen to it. And then I read stuff about how, voice, there's videos I watch about, people, imitating people's voices and stuff like that, and how that was really easy to do, and how maybe it was just people calling, pretending to be for those family members and stuff, so.
And, with caller ID and stuff, did they, fake their phone number?
I don't know, I didn't read anything about, getting caller ID at all.
Cell phones don't usually show up on caller ID. When my mom and dad, when we call, they show up as unavailable. Some of our cell phones will show up as
Right,
unavailable.
but you know who your number is, the number of your son.
Not if it shows up unavailable
Yeah.
from air.
I think it depends on your carrier.
Yeah.
I get a question.
Seems like I'm all over it.
Okay, well, I just was wondering, so, that Flight 93, they say probably didn't, the conspiracy theory says, it didn't even, crash or anything?
No, the main ones I read say it landed in the Cleveland airport.
So then what happened to the people who were on board?
Yeah.
Did they just take them out back and shoot them?
I don't know. They say, the stuff that I read said that the plane landed and they took it into an abandoned NASA, thing, and this huge building, and nobody really knows after that. They just said that the plane landed and it was taken into a warehouse, and nobody really knows what happened.
Yeah, that's when the aliens came.
And that's when they get.
They all hid behind the grassy knoll.
Yeah.
And we didn't make it to the
Yeah, the moon thing, that kind of brings me to the we didn't land on the
How was
moon.
it?
How do we not
How was
land
it?
on
Like,
Say
talking-
we're
Wait,
on the big moon.
If Lance Armstrong was the first one to walk on the moon, who was filming him?
Lance Armstrong, he bikes.
Whatever.
Neil Armstrong.
No, it's true. It's all a lie. I could have done a
Who's
whole
filming
project
him when he's
presentation on
walked
that
off
one.
the
Could have.
aircraft?
We didn't make it.
Conspiracy theories are definitely interesting. I know that I did a project, when I was teaching history on the JFK conspiracy
You're
theories,
making
and
the
that is
assumption that
unbelievable.
that was the
So-
first time he walked on it.
Ian, did you have a question?
Yeah, that's what
How
I
did
say.
people receive
One
you when you
small
were
step for
talking to them
man,
about
one
it?
giant
They
leap.
walked
at the
out,
press?
set up, then you went back
Most
on
of them
and
are
filmed
really
it.
good
Would
about,
be my assumption.
they didn't really get offended at all. A lot of them didn't say any mean things, but they did like ask me a lot of questions and stuff, but they